We all got skills. We have talents and we have passions. But mine happens to be sex. This is the Funsexual podcast with your oversharing swinky best friend, Majesty. And I'm talking sex and all of the ways and all of the things that make sex, well, fun.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of the Funsexual podcast. And I am particularly excited about this episode because if you are watching on YouTube, which you should be watching on YouTube, the Funsexual podcast on YouTube, I am sitting here with the beautiful, the amazing Sage, the motherfucking flame. Okay. You know, so we gotta get all the air horns. If you want to, first of all, if you had a podcast, how would you open your podcast?
It depends on, I guess, the tone of my podcast, I guess.
It's some sexy, raunchy shit.
It's some sexy, raunchy shit. I'd probably maybe open it with some moans, some, pre-recorded moans, or, some, sultry voices.
I like that.
Yeah.
Damn, I ain't thinking of that.
Some whispers.
I got y'all next episode. I'm gonna hook it the fuck up. I'm gonna hook it up. I'm really excited. This is awesome to have you here. I'm really excited that you decided to do this.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've checked out the Funsexual podcast, but just hearing the word Funsexual, what do you think it means? I made it up myself, so it means whatever I decide.
Yes. My interpretation of it is I guess obviously it's centered around sexuality and it's not too serious. So I would assume you're not a doctor or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just an engineer.
Right. You're not a doctor of sex, but more so a connoisseur of all things, sexual enjoyment.
I always tell people people are like, you're a sex educator and you should be doing. I was like, first of all, I am not a sex educator. I am a sex enthusiast. I haven't taken the courses. I don't have the paperwork and the certificates and the things, but I do it and I watch it and I like to talk to people about it, even if it's not even from a super raunchy standpoint. I just like to talk about sex because it's a really interesting topic and because we're not usually allowed to talk about it.
Right.
So I try to keep it light. Mm-hmm. Do you listen to podcasts at all?
I do.
What are some of your favorites?
I've listened to a lot of NPR podcasts, so Planet Money, then Vox has some podcasts, Unexplainable, Horrible Decisions is also a great one. Brilliant Idiots, I feel I like, just because, people like Charlemagne the God I don't agree with everything that they believe in. So it's interesting to hear different perspectives sometimes.
That's very mature, because sometimes I hear somebody talking about some shit I don't want and I'm like, turn it off.
I mean, sometimes it will get to, there have been episodes of the Brilliant Idiots where I had to turn it off because I'm like, this is really ridiculous.
This is ignorant.
Right, this is very ignorant, can't do it, maxed out at the ignorant level, But yeah, it's a different perspective, so I like to engage with that in a healthy, that's my healthy dose of different perspective.
You have a very wide range of podcasts.
Yeah.
But you was okay. Yeah. That's dope. That is dope.
Yeah.
So an actual intro. Who is Sage the Flame?
So I'm a porn performer. Sex worker is also applicable to me, but I feel porn performer is just more specific. Mm-hmm. I am, my niche and the thing that gets me going is intimacy and female pleasure and genuine mutual pleasure, which as simple and basic as that might sound is missing really bad.
It's very much
so especially between Black people and people of color.
It's not just in porn. It's in the regular holes out there. Just saying
exactly.
It's missing there too.
Yeah, for sure.
So we thank you for your work. Yeah. We thank you very much. Touch a woman a little more, please.
There you go. Yeah. So I am a porn performer who is very passionate about intimacy and making porn better for Black people, and on the front end and on the back end. So making the experience of the porn performers better, and that in turn will make the experience for the viewer better, because I feel there's this common thing that after you watch porn you feel disgusted with yourself, and it really doesn't have to be that way.
You can enjoy that and not feel
yeah,
bad
you
about
really
it.
don't have to like feel that way. And once I discovered that light, I feel like that's a light that everyone should be able to feel.
Were you like an avid porn watcher, porn viewer before you got into porn work?
I wouldn't say avid, but I did. I feel like I was a pretty regular porn. Like I watch porn.
Do you still watch porn now? Mm-hmm. Do you watch yourself? Well,
yes.
I mean, you edit yourself. So I love your Instagram videos when you're editing, because first of all, Instagram fucking sucks.
Facts.
And you have to like tiptoe around everything that you do. So I like you editing the videos and talking about this stuff. I was like, this is good. This is good.
Thank you.
And so that I like that. But once I saw you like twerking to gospel music, I was like, she's cool. She's cool. This is the type of energy that like I want to bring to it, because like I feel like sex, it is this beautiful and amazing thing, and it can do so much for you emotionally and mentally and therapeutically and all the things. But I feel like sometimes people take the fun out. Like once you get too serious about it, like you take the fun out of it. Like it's meant to be something that you were supposed to enjoy. Right. You're supposed to laugh. You're supposed to like fuck up and
sometimes you knock
elbow. Like it happens.
Yeah.
Like, and why can't that be? That's a part of it. Like just laughing.
We're
about
human.
It, so.
But yeah, I do watch myself like for pleasure. Like there's this one particular video, it's with me and Maze the goat, and it's like this purple lit like very sensual video, and it was the first time we ever had sex, and it was so mind-blowingly amazing. I have watched it and like masturbated to it numerous times. So yes, I do.
And how old is this video?
Probably at least like a year.
Okay.
Maybe like a year and some change, you know?
That was in the favorites.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely in the favorites. Absolutely.
And I'm glad that you said that, because I wanted to ask, like, what makes someone, like, first of all, do you have like a work husband? Like, do you have like a somebody that you go to and like, this is a regular person that I want to continue to make content with?
I will say I do have like my favorites in the industry, but I don't have like what you're referring to. I wouldn't say that I have that connection yet, but I say yet because I live in Atlanta right now. Okay. There's not really any porn performers that I live in that live near me that I could just work with consistently. Okay. So, but I am gonna be moving to Vegas next month. So
I was about to say that's where all the porn stars are in Vegas. Right. Like, that is the spot to be.
Fact. So yeah. So I mean, I have great relationships with porn stars in Vegas and LA. But yeah, once I get to Vegas, I probably will establish one of those.
A weird kids be.
Yeah.
What makes someone good to work with? And I'm asking this because I have some friends that do OnlyFans, and they're like, it's so hard to find good people to work with. And I'm like, well, what is a good person to work with? Like, do they just gotta be slinging good dick? Like, what makes someone good to work with?
Yeah, I think it's probably going to be case by case, because everyone has different goals and niches and stuff. Like some people like to make porn that will amaze you the most. Like some people want to fuck in a helicopter and fuck in the middle of the desert and fuck in the middle of the ocean. Like, and so if you find someone that matches your energy like that, that's great for you, but it might not. That's not really my stilo, So I think like generally speaking, like a great work partner is someone who is open and receptive to collaboration. Yes. Because you might come across people who need everything to be their way, and they want to collaborate with you, in quotes, instead of like paying you to be a part of their vision. So working with someone who is open and receptive to collaboration, and also who is open and receptive to you as a human being, who is here to give and exchange sexual pleasure.
Of pleasure.
Right, exactly. So like, are you treating sex as the intimate act that it is? And do you have respect for me and my body? Like I feel like those are like the overarching things that make a quality work partner.
And are there times when people don't have those qualities and you're like, no?
Yeah, absolutely. It's happened before. I like actually when I work with people, I have a Google form that I send everyone that goes over your sexual likes and dislikes. Why, like, what is your goal with your content? Why are you making porn? What do you hope to display to your audience? And I look over all of those things, and I will make a decision whether most oftentimes, and not like everything goes smoothly, but there has been times where people have filled out the form and I'm like, we don't seem compatible. Or I've had someone, I sent my form to this guy, and he just didn't give a shit. Like, he just didn't care to like acknowledge that I wanted this information and that I wanted to have this conversation about our sexual likes and dislikes and stuff like that. So yeah, I was like, we don't need to work together then, like, if you can't handle that. So.
Are you easier on the women that you perform with than you are on the men?
As far as like the vetting process? I used to be, because I used to be naive. Now at this point, I feel like I'm pretty equal with it, because there are a decent amount of women in the industry who aren't genuinely attracted to women. And for me, I would really rather not work with women like that, because I'm looking for authenticity.
Yes.
And if you're not authentically like engaged in this thing, then we don't need to do it, you know?
You saying that made me think of, you have a video on Twitter where the woman that you were working with, she was like, you don't know how many times I'm with women, and like, that was amazing. I was like, what did they do? What did they do?
There's unfortunately an epidemic of fake lesbians in the porn industry. So yeah, that particular woman was, I guess, like, I don't know if I was her first, like, genuinely on some gay shit, experience.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Spirit fingers.
Jazz hands. But yeah, it'd be like that sometimes. So I feel like I definitely do vet women very well to make sure that you're actually, that you actually eat pussy and you like eating pussy and like all those things like that.
That's fun.
Yeah.
That's really fun. I'm going to get into that. So I have a segment of, let me put you on, and I'm gonna have stage the flame, put y'all on some fly shit, because I need the details and I'm taking notes. But before we even get into any more questions, I want to play an icebreaker game with you.
Okay?
So I'm gonna give you 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, you gotta shout out every word that you can think of for the vagina.
Okay.
Okay. 30 seconds, starting now.
Pussy, vulva, cunt, coochie, twat, cootie cat, cat,
you got like testicle.
Cookie, poom poom.
All right, that's it. You got 9. I sat down with that and I was like, damn, we call coochie a lot of names.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Way too many names for coochie.
Yeah.
Last night, they had an event here. There was a comedy show and I was talking to a woman and she was like, she's from London. And she was like, they're so like prepper and all the things. She was like, we refer to, she's like, you know how you like, when you're little, you refer to it as like your pocketbook, like the cute name? She's like, we called it our front bottom.
Oh, wow.
I said, a front bottom? I see where you're going with it, but damn, like, that was a little, all right, if you're with it,
that's
I'm with it
funny.
too. Like, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's hilarious.
So, I have a question, because have you ever gotten your hotel deposit taken from, like, squirting and creaming on hotel furniture or like Airbnb furniture?
That is so funny. That is a hilarious question. I personally have not.
Cause I'm like, y'all niggas, do y'all live here?
That's facts. I mean, like, I've heard stories of, like, hotels, like, being like, we don't want y'all filming here, like, just bullshit like that. But I've never, I mean, maybe because I'm not, like, that messy where, like, a hotel would be like, we're taking the deposit type shit, like, so, yeah, luckily I've never had that experience before.
I hope that
I
hope that does not happen for you.
But that's mad funny.
Because I in my mind, I mean, even on my bed, like, I'm gonna put a puppy pad down. Like,
yeah,
I'm like, because I'm gonna sleep here after.
Yeah.
So like, and even when I go to other people's spaces, like, I don't know. So I don't want to leave my coochie juice on everything.
Yeah,
so
I feel that. I mean, right. I try to be cognizant of that. So maybe for that reason, I've never like had that. Right. I don't just go into spaces and just fuck shit up and leave. Right.
We have Airbnb ratings over here.
Right.
Respect that. How did you get into content creation? Like, were you, I feel like there was a wave, like, pandemic time, there was a wave, and I'm not sure if you were in that pandemic wave, but, like, what was your, like...
Yeah, so I started this shit a little bit before the pandemic wave.
Okay.
I've always been interested in sex work since I was 18. Like, I mean, even before that. Like, I always say this. I feel like I was born a hoe. Like, I feel like I was destined for this whole shit. Because I've just always been on some, like, real sexually curious shit. Like, ever since I was young. So right, once I was like transitioning out of high school, my idea was I wanted to be a yoga instructor and a cam girl on the side. Because I was like, maybe
that's on fire.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I don't think yoga instructors make that much money, and I want to make a lot of money, so I'll be like a cam girl on the side. So, I was working to raise money to become a yoga instructor because you have to pay for your certification.
We go like to Bali and stuff.
It's type shit, yeah. So eventually I decided to start stripping, and this was March of 2020.
Okay.
And like, mind you, before that I actually I was dabbling in like selling. Honestly, I started on Snapchat. Like,
I keep hearing about the premium Snap.
Yeah, I started I remember I used to be on Tumblr, and someone on Tumblr asked me one time, would you ever sell your nudes? And I was like, yeah, haha, for $1 million, ha ha ha. and then they messaged me again. They was like, nah, like, I'm dead ass, like, somebody wants to buy your nudes. I was like, okay, fuck it, because I'm out here trying to get it out the mud.
And I want to sell it. What's up?
Right. So that happens, and then I move on to Snapchat, and then I consulted, and this is like 2018. I then consulted a sex worker who was really popping on OnlyFans around 2018 and still is. And she told me to hop on OnlyFans. And I was like, great. So I got on OnlyFans, wasn't taking it too seriously, and then I got into the strip club in in March of 2020.
Did you live out in Miami?
Mm-hmm. Okay. For 5 years.
Okay.
And then the pandemic happened 3 weeks later. So my stripper dreams were cut short. And then I just started, because the clubs were closed. So I just started to put all my energy into OnlyFans as opposed to like half my energy into OnlyFans, and then it just kept taking off.
Was that the only job that you were working at the time? Like when you first started? Or was it like
when I first did OnlyFans?
Mm-hmm.
So remember when I mentioned how I wanted to become a yoga instructor, I needed to raise money? So my idea at the time, this was like 2016, my idea at the time was to start a GoFundMe to garner the money I needed to become a yoga instructor. Mm-hmm. Nobody was donating to the GoFundMe, which I get it. I mean, people are dying. Like, I get it. I'm not really too mad about it. So I was like, all right, I will send y'all niggas t-shirts in exchange for donations. Okay. So this was around the 2016 election. So I put politically charged messages on the shirt. And next thing I know, them shits are selling like hotcakes.
I was about to say they was going.
They were going crazy. Mind you, I just wanted to be a fucking yoga instructor. Next thing you know, Frank Ocean is wearing my shit. I'm managing a fucking warehouse. I'm a fucking warehouse manager. Whole time I just wanted to be a yoga instructor. That's all I wanted.
What did these shirts say?
The shirt that said "Why be racist, sexist, homophobic, or transphobic?"
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I made that.
That's fucking lit.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
I made that. And then. So this was never my plan.
Okay.
So, and like I said, right, Frank Ocean wore the shirt. Shit went crazy. Mind you, I'm like fucking, 17 at the time? Like, I'm just, I'm just doing my fucking best.
I just wanted to sell a t-shirt.
Right. I'm 17 years old managing this fucking warehouse, and, now we have hundreds of thousands of orders. So it just became too big of a headache, and eventually, we grew way too fast without a solid foundation. So then it just became too stressful, and I just had to close the business down, right? The pandemic hit, and we were just like, yeah, we gotta, this is time to go.
It was for the better.
Right. So I put that shit to rest, hopped in the strip club, and then, the rest is history.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But I've had an interest in sex work for a long, long time.
I've always been like, if I could get paid to do anything, it would be to fuck. Like, if we have to work and we're in a society where we have to contribute,
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
I want to get paid to fuck. Like,
facts.
TBH.
Facts.
We're trying to make that happen. Working on that too.
Yeah.
What was the moment that you realized, like, yo, I made it? Because, I mean, you're doing the shit.
In life or in sex work?
In sex work. Both, actually.
Well, I remember when I was, 15, and I had woke up. So when I was, 14, I was, going through really bad depression, and I was hospitalized because of it. But I came back out on the other side, a lot better. Mm-hmm. That whole hospitalization turned my life around. For the better. And so I remember one time I was 15 and I woke up one morning and I just started crying, tears of joy, because I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but all I know is God got me. I'm good. I just felt it in my bones. I was like, yo, life is the world is my oyster and I'm in this bitch. So I felt like that was the moment.
The world is my oyster and I'm in this bitch. Yeah.
I felt like that was the moment where I knew I made it in life. I didn't really have a clear idea of what my future was going to look like, but all I knew was life is cool, I'm good, and I'm here. We're here. But I had this a very awesome, lucid moment, So but as far as sex work goes, I don't know. I feel like it's different levels every time, because like last year I was in the Dominican Republic like on some content creation shit, and just like in this infinity pool looking at the fucking ocean in the fucking Dominican Republic, like with me and my niggas in this mansion in the fucking, you know, like I'm lit, like we fucking made it, like this doesn't get any better, but lo and behold it's getting better, like it continues to get better. So I think I can talk about this now, right? So MindGeek, do you know what that is? That's like the so MindGeek is like the parent company to like Brazzers, TeamSki, you know, stuff like that. So when I first started this, I never really intended to go professional, because my whole there's a lot of faults in the porn industry, and I just wanted to do my own thing for the most part. So I was like, yeah, I mean, like I'll shoot professionally one day maybe, but I'll do it if they knock on my door type shit. So them niggas knocked at my door. So it's up and it's stuck basically. Yeah. So I will be going on that journey next month. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited. Yeah. It happened in very beautiful ways, because because they knocked on my door, I have more leverage. I can, you know, negotiate a lot better. So it's really up. It's
the authenticity. Like, I want to see more. Like, I'm a fan of Black Touch porn. Yes. I talk about Black Touch all the time.
Love them.
Like,
shout outs.
They do. Brian knows that he does. Facts. He does what he does. He does well. I want to see porn that looks like the sex that I want to have, and I don't want to see porn where I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do that.
Right.
That doesn't look fun.
Is she uncomfortable? Like, how are they? Do they really like this? Like,
I'm always looking at porn now that I see, like, watching you and people like Darling Nikki and like, I'm like, this is what I be like doing on the weekends. These are the parties that I pay to go to. I have sex like that. I don't be having sex like that. Like, and if you want to do that, and that's great, and I want you to have that experience, but then I'm like, did that feel good?
Right, like, right. Valid question.
Did someone like hug you after? Yeah. Someone like, are you good? Are you okay? Like, did you feel? I don't know. Like, I
feel that
it's sex should be, whether it's on camera, whether it's for money or not, it should be something that is like an enjoyable experience. It's one of the like best parts of life.
I agree wholeheartedly. And like I said, as fundamentally basic as that sounds, it's missing a lot from porn.
Very much missed.
Yeah.
Have you ever realized that you had bad sexual chemistry with somebody once you started filming with them?
Absolutely.
And so how does that like play out in a scene or in the work kind of thing?
So, it's in situations like that, it is a battle between, you know, I invested my time, energy, money in this. I don't want to lose out on that investment. So you have to kind of, as everything is going down, you kind of have to weigh like, how bad is this versus how, you know, could I, like how long should I sustain, should I be here type shit, you know? So yeah, there have been, and it's funny because it's actually like, I mean, I don't know. I feel like for me in porn, there's like this sweet spot, right? Because I feel like there are people who are really, really like porn stars, famous household names that are sometimes too brainwashed to like take it back. Like, right, we're not on the set of Bang Bros. Like, you don't have to like fulfill all these tropes and, you know, do all these weird shit things, you know? So, and then, right, there's like the pool of people who are like just, you know, getting their toes wet and don't really know like the ins and outs and stuff. But I really like the sweet spot of people who are like, have been in the industry for some time, but like can take themselves out of the on-set mode and like put themselves in just like, it's just you and I having sex right now type shit. So yeah, I have been in those situations, and they are a little tricky, but at the end of the day, every single shoot that I do teaches me something. Awesome. And even situations like that, like I like the Google form that I was telling you about earlier, it was a situation that I realized I didn't have chemistry with a person, that I took a step back and was like, I need to improve my vetting process. Like, I need to do better at deciding who I work with, because that wasn't like, that was right. I missed a step, you know? So yeah.
That is, yeah. I'm always wondering, like, so I'm planning on recording a scene. I've always wanted to do it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm now have this podcast, and I'm very vocal about like my sex and my sex life and shit. So I'm like, I feel like the next step is like recording a scene. And so I'm like, all right, now who am I going to record with? I feel like it would be fun for me, but like, I'm like, do I go out for drinks first? Like how is that like warming up process? Is there a warming up? Like,
yeah.
Do we go out to eat after?
Right. Like, so yeah, there's no like official like written in stone protocol, but and a decent amount, I feel like most other sex workers that I've engaged in, like I like a good, like if we live in the same area, and our schedules align and we have time and stuff, like I really do like to go out for dinner or drinks or whatever before, doing a scene, and definitely like, hanging out a little afterwards is also great too. So I invite all of that.
That's how, like, we going out for drinks first.
Yeah.
Like, we might go out for drinks like the weekend before and really like feel it out kind of thing. But I definitely want it to be a situation like that. And I know at least one of the people that I asked, I don't know if he's gonna do it or not, but it was a former partner of mine. I was like, I just feel like it would be comfortable to just have someone that I like, because it's definitely gonna be an MFM.
Yeah.
And I want at least one person there to be somebody that I know that I have sexual chemistry with, and so I'm hoping that it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
When you do watch porn, what categories do you watch?
Honestly, I'm not. I don't really watch a lot of porn because my imagination is very vivid.
Okay.
But when I do watch porn, face fucking porn is like my favorite.
That used to be my shit. Yeah. That used to be my shit. There's a woman on Pornhub named Chantel D, and I would always end up on her stuff, and I was like, I was very, very young. I was young in my like sexual awakening, not so much young as a person. I was definitely at least 20 or 21. But I would watch like, how can her throat do this? This is amazing. So it's like, this is great. So I do enjoy a good face fucking. But my category that I go back to next to face fucking, the category that I keep going back to, especially lately, is milking, like cock milking porn. I don't know what it is about watching somebody like just drain and take all of them. It's just like that. Yes.
I've also been getting into nut videos lately, so I feel you on that one.
Is it a particular angle? Because I know when I'm watching it, I want you to come on. I want the camera to be like down here, and I want to see it fall.
I don't think I have angle. I just want to see enough of you.
Okay.
Like I just want to see enough of the guy.
I want you to come on your camera screen for me, like. During the pandemic, there was this like time where I was doing a lot of like masturbation circles and Zoom, that. We were having sex on camera a lot. And my thing, like, I would be talking to people on the side of like, can you send me a video? And you're like, just like come on your camera for me, like just put it down and like just aim it and try to like come on your camera. Like that was my shit.
I love that.
That was my shit. I was actually surprised. I was like, at that point, I was like, I don't give a fuck if y'all think it's weird, but like if you're gonna do it, like you wanna do it?
I mean, I see the appeal. I guess I just like as someone who makes content, it would make me nervous to come on my phone, like or like an electronic.
He worked for UPS. He was fine. He was good. We wasn't worried about that. Like,
yeah. So yeah.
That's definitely my jam. Do you ever watch porn for like research purposes? You're
Absolutely.
Like, how does
all
this
the
happen?
time?
Okay.
Yeah, I every once in a while, I will check the temperature on Pornhub, and very sparingly, because I don't like to stress myself out, because it stresses me out.
Check the temperature.
Like, just see what's on the homepage of Pornhub.
Okay.
Yeah, just see what's there.
To see if you're like in the.
Not even, just to see like what is trending right now. Like what are people looking at?
Nasty motherfuckers.
Right, like what's going on in the ether, and it's often stressful because it's like 90% of it is like step sibling porn, which is like really interesting.
95% of it is white as fuck.
95% of it is white as fuck. And there's just the female pleasure was just no one gives a shit about that. So yeah, it's just a stressful time. But I do, aside from that, I'll subscribe to other like people's websites or OnlyFans or whatever, and I will watch for research purposes.
Tribbing is something that I've never done, and it's something that I've always wanted to do. So we're going to take a break for a second. We're going to go into the let me put y'all on, because your tribbing content is like really dope.
Thank you.
Tribbing is something I want to do it, but like I have this fear of like not doing something right with a woman.
I feel that.
So
I feel that.
I feel like tribbing, it has to be right. And I'm probably, it's probably paralysis by analysis at this point, because I think about it too much. But like, can you give some tips for tribbing? Please.
So one of my biggest tips, because I feel you on that, like the nervousness around it. One of my biggest tips is like communicate that like with your partner. Like I recently had sex with another woman who, I let her know. I was like, I asked her, I was like, do you want to do scissoring? Are you into that? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, cool. Well, I'm not like, that's not my strong suit personally. So like, do you want to be on top? Like, you know, just I guess just like clearing the air, like pinpointing the elephant in the room, that, you know, like, it's right, because you're right, it does take like a rhythm, like you have to get like adjusted to it. So just like
very small things.
Yeah. So just like kind of like naming that takes the pressure off of it, because right, like we got into the scissoring session and it took a little bit to like get into the groove, but like because we addressed it already, like there was not really a lot of like nervousness about it once we got to that point. So I think communication and like naming anything that comes up for you around scissoring is really helps alleviate that feeling of nervousness. But yeah, also like taking the pressure off yourself that like you really don't need to get everything right the first time. Like you
It's the hard one.
It really is, like, because like I have people that, you know, ask me like how to be better at sex, or like how to approach sex better or whatever.
Your
and
DMs
it's like,
are probably wild.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like a big thing is like, you know, people want to perfect everything immediately, and like you have to be uncomfortable with not getting everything right the first time, and maybe like learning something and then applying it the next time. So yeah, take the pressure off yourself. You don't have to be perfect the first time, and it's a learning process.
I have a lot of, well, more lately now than, I have a lot of casual sex, or like I go to sex parties. I only really have sex at sex parties. I don't I don't really have sex too much outside of sex parties. And so a lot of people that I have sex with are people that might be the only time I see them. So like, first of all, I'm not gonna be tripping with somebody that I ain't never gonna see again. Okay, that's a special part of me. I ain't never done that before, and I can't say that about a lot of things. So, but also if that's my first time, I don't want that to be, in my mind, I'm like, I don't want that to be the impression, like,
The only, yeah.
we were scissoring, that shit was trash. Like, don't scissor much, yo. Like, I don't want that to be the impression that I leave. So I think that's why I'm like, I'm gonna wait till it's somebody a little bit more special to do that with.
Yeah, I mean, in situations like that, right? Like, it's like, you know, we're not like here for hours and communicating and stuff like that for hours and hours. But I mean, you know, you do your best. Not everyone's perfect.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get there. I got somebody in mind. I think that she would kind of like walk me through it.
Yeah.
As a content creator, has your personal sex life changed since you got into content creation?
Absolutely. And it has changed for the better. And that is something that I really love about how my job has impacted my life. It has made me, my line of work has made me a much better communicator when it comes to sex. Yes. It has made me so much more comfortable with just being honest with all aspects of sex. I'm very upfront about my sexual health and my sexual wellness and the sexual health and wellness of my partners. I'm pretty good with communication, and it has also made me more attentive to like what is genuinely pleasurable to me and like what really works for my body, because I watch myself on camera, you know, like
you know like, your angles, you know what works. Yeah.
It's like when football players like watch their, you know, their games back, like they take notes on like, you know, the shit that they could have done better or whatever. So like it has definitely made me more attentive. For sure. So I fucks with it. It has made me a much better lover.
Has that upfrontness and that bluntness when it, because sex is this taboo thing. You know, people don't even say sex. People say it. Like sex is like this bad word. I heard like a 35-year-old woman say doing it, and I said no. We're gonna say fucking, because like there's no children in the room. Like we're all grown. You got 2 kids, bro. You're having sex in the ways that I wish I want to get nutted into, sis. Like damn, you can't even say sex. She was crazy. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna leave this room. But I fuck that, because I'm thinking about this woman. Anyway, what is something that is non-sexual that turns you on?
Because I feel like there's a few things that come to mind. I think when someone looks and smells really nice, that makes me really, you know, it makes me hot, you know. And also when I'm someone who has really good conversational skills, like if I'm able to talk to you and we're having a good conversation and I feel like I feel comfortable in your physical presence, I feel safe, like being physically close to you, like that type of stuff, like just makes me open up. Like it just makes me feel way more comfortable and like excited and like aroused, you know. And yeah, like just also being able to laugh with people is something that really turns me on. But I mean, I feel like there's a few things.
Mine has always been like, I have a thing about seeing men specifically with kids, like taking care of kids and like being good parental figures. Yeah. Like, this shit is so sexy. Yeah. I shouldn't be aroused. All you're doing is taking her for ice cream. This shit is hot. Like, all you did was like wipe crust out her eye before she went to school. I'm like, yeah.
I would say voice is also another thing. Like, I've had men who were attractive on the outside, but then when they opened their mouths and started talking, I was like, oh my God, take me now.
Because of the voice.
Yeah.
I've heard some. There was this kid in college, and I remember used to being like, I want you to like talk to me while I go to sleep. I want nothing else from you. Literally just get on the phone and just start talking to me when I'm going to sleep because your voice is
I've had niggas send me voice memos and that shit turned me like on, like just conversing about just random shit, and I was like, yo, your voice is mad sexy. Like,
just keep. I don't care what you say.
Just keep going.
Read to me, daddy.
Facts.
One thing that I really enjoy about you and your content, and just you the way you portray yourself online, is the way you like dabble these lines between like your masculine self and your feminine self. It's something that I'm just like starting to learn about myself, that I tend to be more masculine once I learned like what masculine qualities were. I do lean very masculine, and I was like, babe, I need to soften up. I need to be more girly. And then I had people like, no, you don't. You need to just sit in who you are, and the people who love you will attract. But I'm like, no, but I'm a girl. Like, I gotta be a girl.
Yeah.
So I really love the way you like dabble that line. Have you seen that like play out in your work as well?
Yeah. I think it comes up particularly when I deal with men, and particularly men who are deep in the porn industry, because I mean, the typical like, porn scene is like this really masculine man and this really feminine woman. And so like when I go to collaborate with men who are like deep into the porn industry, like they often want me to, they kind of just do it mindlessly. They're like, okay, here's these little frilly things with wear some heels and like a skirt or some shit. Just like, I never wear that. Like, I never do that. Like, so why would I do that right now? So yeah, I mean, it just takes a little bit of like extra advocating for myself usually. But I mean, when when I work with women, it's usually pretty understanding. But yeah, it's funny that you mentioned like what you just said, because I recently put the dots together that when I was younger, when I was like middle school age, I used to want to take ballet because I'm like, I need to become more feminine. Like, I'm really like, I need to like feminize myself a little bit more, not really understanding like what that was about. But yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Like I
think it's dope, and I've realized that like the people that I'm definitely more confident in my space and who I am, and sometimes I do want to dress more girly and do the heels and the makeup, and sometimes it ain't gonna be that,
and
it's like it's the same bitch, it's the same bitch. You want to get the same person out of me, but sometimes I'm just not feeling it, or sometimes you haven't pulled that thing in me that makes me want to to portray that way. But I love the way that you do that, but you are still very like, there's no part of you that makes me think like she's a man, or like she's trying to push herself into a different space. And I think that it's dope, and especially because you have been as successful as you have been as yourself. I think that is like
Thank you.
That is really, really dope. Like
Thank you.
Porn is sex in general is like, I don't know. It's my passion. Some people like cooking. Yeah. Some people like fucking dogs. I like sex. I like talking about it. I like hearing about it. I like listening to it. I enjoy watching. I don't watch that much porn, but when I do watch it, like I enjoy watching it, not just because I want to flick my bean, but because I want to see like these sexual connections between people. And so people who do it right, and I hate to say that there's a right and a wrong, but right to my liking. Yeah. Like, you got it. Yeah. You got it. You did it. And so y'all do that very well. There's you and a select handful of people. Y'all do that very, very well. So
thank you.
Definitely appreciate you. Definitely recommend you to people all the time. Definitely recommend you to people all the time.
Yeah.
If you were not doing porn, what would you want to be doing? Would you still want to be a yoga instructor?
Yoga instructor, herbalist, chef. I really like, I love like yoga. I love wellness. So I love like yoga is really captures that very well. But and I also really love like concocting things. So like I really love like, I'm an avid tea drinker.
What tea you drinking right now? Give me some flavors.
On a daily basis, it's usually like yerba mate with some like moringa with like burdock root.
Okay.
And that's like the yeah.
I just got a new maca and ashwagandha tea. And I was like, this is fun.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually like, we're going to go peppermint or like chamomile. But I was like, I want to try to do something that's maybe a little bit better for me.
Yeah.
So.
I have a whole apothecary at the crib, and it's really beautiful. Like,
do you make your own tea blends?
Yeah. So I have like jars of loose herbs, and I like every day I have I have this stationary pot on my stove that just churns out tea.
How do you do like a pour over kind of thing, or do you do like the steep in it kind of?
Nah, so I take the loose leaf herbs, put it in a bowl, and then I boil the water. And once the water boils, then I add the herbs in it and like let it I turn the flame off and let it steep for at least like 30 minutes, and then I drink it. Then I like what do you call it? Strain it. And then I drink it.
Does that not burn the herb? Is it sitting in?
Well, no, you turn the flame off, or like you keep it on low or some shit like that, depending on like the herb,
Gotcha.
But yeah.
I started trying to get into tea, and one of my friends was like, you can burn your tea if the water's too hot. I was like, what? Like, you just burn the tea?
That's why you gotta let the water boil first, and then turn the boil off, and then add the herbs. And
Nobody
let it steep.
told me that before.
Yeah,
So that's good to know.
It's a fun time.
Tea is definitely very, very enjoyable.
Yeah.
I want you to add a song to the playlist. So I have a playlist that I make in every episode. I add a song or two to the playlist, and it's been a very wild bunch of things. Mm-hmm. So one song that you would add to the playlist, a song to play to, and what song would
It's funny because I have a song in mind, but you know the song that like for some reason just came to the top of my head. I don't even know what it's called, but you know the song that's like, oh wow, that punk song.
I don't know that one. Yeah. Wow. No, I don't know that one.
Anyway, though, my real answer is "Good" by S3x, spelled Gud.
Okay.
It's about how this pussy is so good. It's a great. S3x is on the come up R&B artist. He's fire.
I'm definitely gonna check that out.
His voice is amazing, and he's fine as fuck. I mean, he's beautiful.
Probably not even nasty enough for real. You know what I'm saying? But as we came into this space, you were saying that you've only been to one sex party.
Yeah.
And I want to hear about that, because I feel like if you step into a sex party, shit's gonna be lit regardless.
I mean, honestly, girl, it was really anticlimactic. I'm not even gonna hold you like, because so this was in Atlanta, and there was this guy that I was seeing at the time, and he was like, I go to the sex club, and I was like, I would like to see what it is. So I just literally went there just to see what it was, and then I left to go fuck somebody else. Because I just wanted to see, because it's like, this was, I mean, right, the pandemic never really happened in Atlanta, so this
still
was
smoking hookah on couches.
Right, so it's pandemic, and like, this is when WAP came out, and
what a time.
And like there's this girl that works there, and she's like doing the TikTok dance and like is on the floor and shit, and I'm like, all right, like, yeah, I'm like, it's cool, whatever. It really wasn't like too popping, okay. But I was like, I understand what's going on, and I fucks with it. I'll come back to this later, So yeah, I left to go get some dick that night, and then unfortunately I never went back. But I would love to go to a sex party. Sex parties
are dope. Definitely different locations have different kind of scene, and even in like especially New York has a huge black kink and like black fucking BDSM scene, so there's like so much that you can get into in New York. So I'm lucky to be around in these spaces. But I definitely learned. I came into the lifestyle in Virginia, in the DMV, and there's a big black kinkster scene there as well. But the way that I learned about things like consent, this was the first time that I'm hearing words like consent when I come into the lifestyle, which is crazy that I've been fucking all this time and nobody ever told me that like I don't have to do it that way. Like I can do it the ways that I want to do it in the ways that feel good to me. But I digress.
Isn't that amazing? Here. Yeah, we're here.
We made it here eventually. But coming in and learning about consent there, and then coming to New York, this very like fast paced, everything is going, and I'm from here, but coming into the sex scene here, the lifestyle scene here, I was just like, oh, y'all move a little too different from me. I'm out. And I ended up like leaving the scene for a while, and came back to it because I fucking love the shit. Yeah. But where you are definitely is gonna tailor your experience to some degree. And then even still, what you find initially is probably not going to be like, what you find initially is probably going to be the people who are also finding it initially. Yeah, so once you kind of get in and you get to know people, then you kind of creep into like someone's basement.
I feel that
doesn't look like a basement when you walk in. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that. Yeah, so, I'm very interested and would love. It's just really a matter of like right place and like who all gonna be there type shit. And but yeah, I'd love to have have sex at a sex party and eventually orchestrate my own, because I think it would be fucking lit. Like I really
got some quality people.
Yeah, facts.
That is facts. So I started getting into hosting events last year, and it has been like my favorite thing that this whole journey has taken me to do, because my shit is fire. The people that come want to participate. No one's coming to judge. No one's coming to, to be standoffish. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do, obviously, but like you have to. My thing is you have to add to the space in some way, whether you are participating, whether you are providing aftercare, whether you are just being a good voyeur. Exhibitionists need voyeurs to watch. Voyeurs want to watch somebody. So like you have to add to my space, and as long as you are adding to my space, it's gonna be a good time. So hosting events is really fun. Sex parties are the highlight of maybe it sounds fucked up, I don't know, but like sex parties are like the highlight of my life. This is the dopest people that you are gonna meet. You will be surprised how many doctors and teachers specifically are whores, and it's amazing. I was very shocked to find that out. But if you ever find yourself in the New York area, there's some really dope scenes in the New York area.
After this trip, I think, because I usually only come here once a month to visit family. But,
that's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, once a year. Okay. Once a year. Definitely not once a month. Once a year. But I think, right, because I've been hearing about these sex parties and shit. I might have to spin the block a couple times.
There's a lot of people doing some. I don't want to say it's a lot of people. First of all, I'm bougie. I'm bougie. I know what I like. I like very specific things. If you want to hear WAP at a sex party, there are parties for that. Personally, I don't I don't want to hear WAP at a sex party. Personally, like I want something a little bit sexier. Something that makes me just feel like let me slide around this floor a little bit. Like I want to feel like that. I don't want to be like until like 5 o'clock in the morning.
I feel
after
that.
a couple shrooms. I feel that. But the sex party scene is dope. I think you should definitely check it out.
For sure.
And I really have enjoyed having you. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Thank you for gracing this amazing space. Before I close this episode out, I would love for you to leave the people listening with an affirmation. Any affirmation.
One of my favorite affirmations lately that is just been like really just popping out in my life lately is that I am fully equipped with everything I need. I am always fully equipped. Period.
Period. Life will have you thinking that you can't do some shit.
Yeah.
Haters will have you thinking that you can't do some shit. Anxiety will have you thinking that you don't have what you need. You don't know what you know. You can't do it. You got it.
I am fully equipped. That is my affirmation.
Just like that. I love that.
Thank you.
Now, where can anybody listening find you? If you have anything coming up that you want to plug or anything like that, let them know.
So as far as anything coming up, Exotica Miami, mid-July, I will be at. I will be in Miami during that time period.
Are you doing a booth at Exotica?
Nope. I'm just pulling up just to see what niggas is doing.
Talk about it.
This will be my first Exotica, so I just want to see what it's about.
It's fun.
So I'm excited for that, and then I will be relocating to Vegas this upcoming July as well. So all the hoes in Vegas hit me up, but that's about it for announcements and stuff. As far as where you can find me, pray to God my Instagram and my Twitter will, be intact. But regardless of that, you can find all of my verified links, all of my social media ads at www.sagetheflame.me. And it will take you to my Instagram, which is _SageTheFlame, my Twitter, which is SageTheFlame1, and it has my OnlyFans link, my TikTok link, everything like that.
You on TikTok too?
I have a TikTok account just in case people want to tag me on TikTok, but I don't post anything because I feel like if I breathe the wrong way, they'll delete me.
I did a busted challenge and he took me down. I said, hold the fuck up, because I see manatees on there.
Right, it's like, do you want me to participate in the app or not? Like, please. Yeah, so, but www.sagetheflame.me is where you will find all my up-to-date links and ads and everything like that.
That's awesome. are you getting into other things while you're in New York? How much longer are you in New York?
I leave tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hope this has been a great trip. I hope New York didn't scare you away because these
Not
motherfuckers is a little crazy.
They are.
they a little crazy, but you know what I'm saying? You deal with it.
Yeah.
So I hope that this trip was great for you.
It was. Yeah.
Safe travels back home.
Thank you so much.
And I will definitely be seeing you on the interwebs. I am wishing you more success, more happiness.
Thank you.
More opportunities, more amazing sex with amazing people, and more something to show people what the fuck we need more of in sex. Not even just in porn, but just in sex in general.
Yeah,
Like,
I really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And I really appreciate your perspective and all the wonderful things that you've brought to this episode.
Thank you so much. All right, y'all. That was it. I'm gonna peace out, and I will see y'all when I see y'all.